global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness today. Amidst the growing tension of agitation for Biafra or for the realization of Biafran sovereign state, a lot of groups are coming up. It looks like some sort of a referendum, even though it is not by vote. Dissenting groups are talking. Those who want Biafra are talking, and right now Nigerians are wondering what is the way forward. In a moment, we're going to find out what is going on in Owerri in Southeast and what people are saying and what may be the fate also of Southeast in general. Prominent men are beginning to voice up rather than sitting on the fence. But before we go into the news proper, like you subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see bell notification icon, please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, amidst the growing agitation for the realization of a state of Biafra by some interest groups and individuals in the Southeast region, a non-political, non-religious organization known as Igbo Royal Heritage Worldwide, NIROH, NIRO, has cautioned champions of the agitation to discard the project, insisting that there is no logic, there is no wisdom and intelligence in breaking Nigeria as a nation. With a large population and a huge investment scattered outside the shores of Southeast and Southeastern region, especially in the northern and the western part of the country, Nero warned that Ndi would stand to lose should they secede from the rest of the country. Dr. Paul Okoye, the President General of the organization, sounded the warning note while briefing journalists in Owerri on the activities lined up for the one-week planned carnival. Okoye, who lamented the 3-year civil war in the country and its disastrous consequences on Igbo, urged that what that's Igbo need is a level playing field in the nation's scheme of things, an effective deployment of their skill, education, creativity, and brain for advancement. I quote him, if our people, or I take that again, I quote him, if our entire people resident outside our region should come back home, where would they stay? And of course, there will be an increase in crime. Igbo is an ethnical nation and we must appreciate this. In the north, we are about 14 million in population and about 8 million in Lagos State, but regrettably, we have not been able to make maximum use of what we have, hence we are where we are today. Okoye noted that lack of transformation, objectivity, maintenance of structure, and critical analysis of burning issues in the country have continued to impede the progress of Igbo nation, adding that Igbos westernized without a consequent background to back that westernization. A lot of people have reacted to this. What he's trying to say in a nutshell is Igbos are much. Population-wise, they're much. That is not saying that if Biafra is to come, since the agitation for Biafra for their own nation, if they are to come home as they are much, like can imagine 14 in the north, 14 million in the north, 8 million in the southwest, particularly Lagos alone, all coming together. You see what we call population explosion and all that. And it's saying that one thing they've noticed that Igbos easily westernized, but they don't look at a situation where they can look at the backdrop of putting culture to it. So he's thinking of actually looking at carnival, a cultural carnival to showcase the beauty of Igbo culture, and to, while they're looking at westernization as well, they should also celebrate their culture in a nice manner. This is what it literally is trying to say. It's saying that they should kick against Biafra agitation, but plans annual cultural carnival for Igbos to bring them together so that they can harness their beauty, their culture, their innovativeness, their creativity, their ingenuity, so that they can see how they can have a level playing ground in Nigerian politics and developmental strides and see how they can move forward. I understand where he's coming from. He's looking at the fact that it doesn't make any sense agitating. But also, he should also look at from the angle where also these guys are agitating. A lot of things are wrong. I don't know if you have an idea of the level of debt indebtedness Nigeria is to both China and the World Bank, IMF, and the amount is crazy. And to worsen it, the next term budget may be on loan as well. We need to borrow to be able to fund it. And some of this borrowing still Nigeria that will pay, and some of these infrastructures are not even located in Southeast. Coupled with the level of insecurity, kidnap now is a lucrative sector, unfortunately, though not celebrated, but is now a heaven for most Nigerians that don't have any job. There seems to be no job, functional job. The train that the Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, worked so hard to get Chinese loan to, procure already is now being bombed here and there by Fulani headsmen, bandits, having a few days and boldly kidnapping, insisting they want to negotiate with the federal government. All these are happening in Nigeria. Nigerians are watching. A lot of a lot of ethnic groups are also watching, and quite a lot of people judging the fact that Biafra agitation has been on for Biafra, and Igbo as a person, as a whole, as a nation, as a people, have not mounted on that seat ever since the 1999 democracy began. So hence, they're seeing themselves as being marginalized. Level playing ground. The question is, are there bridges that have been built to ensure that playing ground is leveled enough for them to play? Politics right now in Nigeria is dynamics, but the question is how will they play it? Even Peter Obi that is trying to vie for presidency come 2023, we have already seen vibes from the north that they may likely not vote for him, having felt how he ruled in Anambra. Some of those guys who stayed in Anambra from the north felt that he wasn't so very friendly with them. I don't know how they got that. They felt he wasn't really very friendly. He was more indigenous, whatever that is. Now, with all this happening and you saying that they shouldn't agitate, or they should just assign this whole issue of agitation, are looking to have a level playing ground. I would rather what they should be thinking of is preparing carnivals for festivals that will promote Igbo culture. It makes a lot of sense, but the question is, you may need to go beyond just saying this. Maybe you need to have stakeholders meeting, and they should tell you exactly how far they have gone with this issue of actualization for Biafra. Well, then again, you may also need to be the one that will build those bridges and tell them to come along and pass through those bridges you have built for them to be able to get to the promised land. Nigeria is a diverse country, and it looks like it's a winner wins all kind of strategy until some of these structures are amended. Maybe some sort of restructuring should be done. I don't think, or just some fortnight ago, the former CBN governor, Sanusi, just said it the way it is, that even the next 3 decades, that's 30 years, the North will continue to rule. That's to tell you that they may not relinquish power. And that gives you a lot, that tells a lot about the fact that maybe we are not really running democracy as the true sense it may be. So you now understand probably the dynamics where these guys are coming from. I'm not supporting anything. I'm only saying that it's always best to hear from both sides and take your stand. That's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take?